Now that we're comfortable with basic terminology, know how to format cells, and work with columns and rows, it's time to discover some basic data manipulation. We've already seen that we can sort A to Z and Z to A as well as filter data, but even these basic functions can be customized. Looking at our International Foods worksheet, we see that the sheet is sorted by order ID number in A to Z fashion, or smallest to largest. If, however, we want to sort by quantity, we just select anywhere in the quantity column, and on the Home tab ribbon in the editing group, we see Sort and Filter, and we can select A to Z or Z to A. The other location you would select sorting from is the Data tab ribbon in the Sort and Filter group, and we would select A to Z or Z to A. We can put it back in its original format by selecting in the Order ID column and selecting A to Z. What if, however, we want to sort alphabetically first by the ship country, and then within the country we want to sort alphabetically by the ship city? It's really easy to do and it's common practice. Let's see. Select Sort on the Data tab ribbon, and we're presented with the Sort wizard. We'll select the first column that we want to sort by, which is Ship Country. We'll leave Sort on Cell Values because we want Excel to look at the value or what's in each cell and sort by the cell value. And we'll keep it A to Z. And we said that we want to add a level, and next we want within that grouping to sort by ship city. When we select OK, we see that in Austria, where we ship to Graz and Salzburg, the G comes before the S. It's really obvious when we get to Brazil as well. C, RE, RI, and S. Now let's look at filtering. We've already filtered when we were setting up our custom views. We start by selecting turning the filtering on. We'll scroll back up to the top so that we can see our column headers. Selecting Filter, the Sort and Filter buttons are turned on the column heads. When activating one of these drop-down buttons, if there are no filters on, then everything is selected, and we know that by the Select All box being checked. If we want just a few items and we can visually easily get to those items, we turn off the Select All button, select the ones that we want to filter by, and select OK. And we can even select by a second column. Again, Select All, uncheck, and check which items you're looking for, and select OK. Visually, we can tell right away that we are looking at filtered data. If we look at the buttons, we notice that there's a filter on each of the columns that are actually filtered. Product doesn't have the funnel, but category and customer do. Also, we'll notice that there are blue rows. Anytime that there's blue row headers, that means that you're being filtered. And one last place to look to see if the information that you're looking at is filtered is in the lower left corner of the Excel status bar, and in this case shows that we have found 6 of 2,155 records. We can easily turn off all filters at once by once again selecting the filter option in the Sort and Filter group. With thousands of records, it isn't practical to filter visually, especially when there are so many options. So another option to filter is by condition. Once again, we'll turn on our sort and filtering buttons. And if we wanted to select all the, say, category items that ended with the letters E, that's easy to do. We'll select our down arrow, we'll use text filters, and we want anything that ends with the letter E. Now, it's probably not real practical, but this will show you what we end up with. And it found everything with produce. You can see how handy that would be if you only knew a customer's first name or only the customer's last name. You could filter by a first or last name of the customer. So your options in text filtering are completely equal to, which would mean that you would need to have that person's name just right. Does not equal, because you know it wasn't a Bob, it was a Susan. Maybe you know that it begins with ST something, or as we did, ends with something. Or maybe you just know a little information about the center of it. There's also custom filters where you can put in several different levels of the items that you know within that filter. In the next video, we'll be working at performing some simple calculations using our data.